Hello, I'm Jenny Spinner, Chief Editor of Snack Food and Wholesale Bakery, and I am here with,
Liz Parker, senior editor.
and we are here to talk about sweets and snacks highlights. A little bit of a delay because it has been crazy busy, and also Liz, who was working way too hard and taking too many trips, lost her voice. You sound fine though now.
I'm mostly okay now. I'm still coughing a little bit, so you might have to take a few breaks in this video. But yeah, apparently I talked so much at Sweets and Snacks and the various weddings I went to this month that I lost my voice for a few days. So that was fun.
Yeah, and it makes things like this video difficult. I guess I could have, you could have done one of those robotic AI voices, typed in what you want to say and have your avatar say it, but everybody wants to hear your lovely voice. So it's still fresh in our memory, going to Indianapolis for the National Confectioners Association, big retail focus show, Sweets and Snacks. Um, Gosh, you could spend 5 days and still not cover the whole thing, but we got a lot. Uh I don't know, Liz, what were some of the trends, the overarching trends? Let's start with candy. What were some of the trends that you noticed in candy overall?
Sure. So I noticed a lot of better for you type stuff. And when I say better for you, I don't mean no sugar entirely because I actually have a friend who asked me like, did you see anything with like no sugar? I said no. Like I see a lot of low sugar things. I
Mhm.
see a lot of people using clean label ingredients, things like that. So that was pretty interesting. And better for you, obviously not a new trend, but it is something that's been gaining a lot of popularity lately, I would say.
Yeah, it's almost to the point where it's evergreen and people are still trying to figure out exactly what that means. Like you said, no sugar, low sugar, no added sugar, things like that. What is going to grab the consumers when they see that on the front of the pack, either on a shelf or hang tags at convenience? I don't want to get ahead of myself, but some of the products that I'm going to be talking about fit in that category. People are, in addition to figuring out which sugar alternatives are best, they're blending because one might have a better flavor profile, one might have a better formulation capabilities. So yeah, it's interesting to see what producers and developers are doing. So yeah, better for you in sugar, organic, plant-based, if you consider that better for you, or just if you think of vegans are annoying. um Gummies and things like that, because obviously most gummies are made with gelatin, which is a plant thing. If you have religious concerns, if you have dietary concerns, if you just want to eat less animal stuff, that's a thing we're seeing. um one of the things that I noticed in candy, and how could you not, because it seemed like every other booth was freeze-dried candy. Um, and to the point where have you ever seen the movie Best in Show?
Yeah, a while back, yep.
So there's two characters who are now a married couple talking about how they met at Starbucks, but not the same Starbucks. They were at two Starbucks on the same street, and they were standing in front of them and saw each other from across the street. There was literally one point where I'm standing in the aisle in front of one freeze-dried candy booth, looking a little bit that way to see another, looking that way to see another. It's interesting that there's so many companies offering that, but it's not something that, like, you can get freeze-dried Skittles or Skittle-like products, but the brand is not coming out with their own Skittles branded version. So does that mean that if the big guys are not betting on it, does that mean that the category, the subcategory, has no potential? I would think so, but I'm not as smart as some of the candy industry people listening to that. So feel free to weigh in. Did you notice that too? Email me at spinnerj@bnpmedia.com. I'd love to talk about that. On the snack side, better for you again. Spicy and super spicy. I can't get around using the word spicy, which is sweet, spicy.
Not my favorite.
well, everybody from in the recent months, years, everybody from sweet chili Cheetos, I believe is a thing that we've seen. Uh a product that I don't mind saying that I'm a fan of. Mike's Hot Honey is on a lot of things, including Utz's potato chips. Liz, you're not a spicy girl.
No, I can't, I don't really eat spicy. I can't really, but my fiance loves
Oh,
spicy snacks. So he is the one who gets the spicy snack samples in our family. I have seen Mike's everywhere. I think they have the hardest working marketing team because they were on Utz, like you said, and then I think they were on what else? Like a pizza and a couple other things.
first thing on food service, I want to say Lou Malnati's, one of the
Yeah, I think that was it.
But don't quote me on that. It could, if I'm besmirching their name and getting them confused with Giordano's, I apologize. But yeah, let's get down to the actual products that we've seen. So, obviously the Indianapolis Convention Center just full to the gills with new products. And there were lots of cool things that I found. A little bit. I've got, you can't see over here, but I've got like a hoarding my samples like a dragon, and I picked out some of the key samples. I'm going to start with a candy thing. This isn't new, but Amos is the producer of peelable gummy candy. And you may have seen these under the Walgreens private label, but maybe not because they can't keep it on the shelf. Um, so that's a lot of fun. And I've been wanting to open it. I'm not going to open it on camera, but wanted to open and play with it because I love gummies, and the interactive peelable aspect appeals to me. And it's not exactly new, but it's new-ish, and I'm excited about it. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops. Will they finally make enough to keep them on the shelves at Walgreens? Will the other companies duplicate it? It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, that should be interesting. I've only gotten to try those once. I met with them at ECRM back in, I think, February,
That's
and they
Rockstar.
said, "Do you want to try one?" And I said, "Definitely." But it's interesting because you peel it, you can eat the inside, and you can eat the outside of it.
Yeah, it's fun. I kind of want to, I could open it, but I don't want to. If you want to see how much fun it is to play with your food, you can see if you can pick up at your local Walgreens, or I believe they're also in their Dwayne Reed stores on the East Coast. So yeah, stop there. Liz, what do you have to share?
So, unfortunately, I don't have a ton of samples because I ate a lot of them. I did not know
Yeah,
we were
same.
sharing packaging, but I've managed to rustle up a few. So this I didn't actually see at the show, but it was at the show and they sent it to me. Lint. I always want to pronounce it Lind, but it's Lindor truffles. Not new. They've been making truffles for a while, but what makes these unique is they're actually made with oat milk, so they're plant-based. So for people like me who can't have dairy, or at least shouldn't be eating dairy, these are kind of interesting. And they come in, this is the milk chocolate variety, and they come in milk and dark chocolate.
Yeah, they were kind enough to I asked a question about them, and they were kind enough to send me samples of that. And as someone who lives in a half dairy-free household, it's nice to see that it there have been some forays into by the big brands. Hershey had plant-based bars, and I don't shop the candy aisles as much as I want to. One, Liz is the candy boss, and two, I'm trying to cut down on sugar in addition to dairy. So yeah, the big guys are coming out with their own plant-based versions, but it seems like a little caution, a little slow with the global brand that is Lindt coming out with their own. It's a pretty interesting development because not everybody's doing it. Speaking of big candy brands, so I had the pleasure of sitting and talking with um Hershey, and they shared a couple of things, and I have a few Hershey brands. Kit Kat is having fun with flavors, and this zoom in, 3D. Pink lemonade, which is not an expected flavor, at least to me. I'm a fan of pink lemonade, but in a white chocolate blend. This is another one that I haven't opened yet because I was saving it for the show and tell that we're doing now. But I'm very interested to try it and see if it lives up to the candy snacking experience. The churro, I was a big fan of that. The donut, those were good. But this is an interesting one to me because the sour and the white chocolate. How does that work? I'll find out soon.
So I'll give you a teaser on that because I already ate that.
Oh, okay,
I
great.
ate that and I ate the Kit Kat vanilla. So I'm not a big white chocolate person. The Kit Kat vanilla, we were talking about this previously, I think, with like the price of cocoa going up. You said it'll be interesting to see if people kind of pivot to using like white chocolate or more like vanilla flavors. So the Kit Kat vanilla was okay. I'm just not a big white chocolate fan, so I'm not the core audience for that. The pink lemonade I liked. It did kind of, I don't know if I got lemonade out of it. It did kind of have that like sour taste you were saying, not in a bad way, but
Yeah.
it was definitely more tart, and I'm not a big tart fan either. But I think for summer it's like a nice like fruity flavor.
Yeah, it seems like a good LTO to come out right about now. On the tail of what you were saying about the cocoa prices, one of the things that I think that we might be seeing is increased inclusions. Because if you're trying to cut down on your cocoa consumption as a producer, putting more stuff in it that isn't cocoa seems like a good move. But you still have to entice and delight consumers. So one of the perks of being a journalist that covers the food industry is sometimes you get these super secret packages. It's not what you will see on the shelf. It has like laser printed stickers, and this says Hershey's extra creamy milk chocolate with waffle cone pieces. And that sounds like a really fun inclusion because I could when they told me about this soon to hit the shelves Hershey product, I could kind of like taste the extra creamy milk chocolate, of which I'm a fan, and the waffle cone piece is the crunch and the stuff. So I think that is something that when it finally does hit the shelves, not sure the ETA, but I think that that's a fun inclusion.
I'm a fan of inclusions. I ate that one as well. I ate all my Hershey things, maybe not all, but a lot of it. So I do love like inclusions in candy, like nuts, things like that. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I'm not sure I've seen any other brand use that inclusion either. Is that coming out this fall, I think?
I don't know. I probably have tucked away in my bag of lit that I picked away from the show. I might have the PR with I am not very together today. Sorry, my brain is full of sugar, ironically. So I'm not sure the debut, but I think I'll look that up and I will maybe add that to the text.
Okay.
Because I think it's your turn. I keep talking.
So I don't have it on me, but again, it was
Uh,
in like a super secret package anyways. So Ferrara has the Lemonhead brand. We were talking about tart things. They came out with Lemonhead ropes, which was interesting.
yeah.
And they did this last year too. They had sweet tart ropes, which I think they have again this year as well, just different formats. But the Lemonhead ropes were kind of interesting. And I feel like ropes are kind of a trend nowadays. Like I've seen like hot tamale ropes. I didn't see it at the show, but I like to look around on Instagram after the hashtag, and someone posted there was country time lemonade ropes. So
Yeah.
kind of similar. This is lemon head ropes, and they're definitely like tart. So if you like tart things, it's a good new product.
Yeah, sour and super sour things are they continue to be really popular cross branding with the ropes and the country time lemonade. I being a Chicago kid, lemon heads and their all their other associated products are pretty I have a fond, familiar feeling, fuzzy feeling for those. If you are Gen X or older, you might remember that Lemonhead had some sister, like Alexander the Grape, which was basically the same candy format, the little sugar coated awesomeness. There was also Cherry Chan, which is they retired and just made them cherry heads. So it's interesting seeing them have fun with the brand. I do one of the things that I do during the show is I take pictures with all the mascots. Um, and I post them on my personal social media. And one of my friends pronounced the Lemonhead mascot slightly scary. I think he's cute. I think he's charming. So yeah, I'm all for putting him on everything. So Hershey continues to work with its salty. I mean, I just showed you a sweet product, but prototype packaging of Dots, the pretzel brand that Hershey had purchased a few years ago, Parmesan garlic. So I like the brand because they remind me, and Dot's homestyle pretzels, they remind me of the pretzel things that my mom used to make. Like she would pretzels, oil, a little bit of like salad dressing or spices, and then bake them in the oven so they'd stick. That reminds me of that. So I have fuzzy feelings for the brand, and I think the Parmesan garlic is an interesting flavor combination. So yeah, they keep innovating with the brands they purchase, which is fun to watch.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. They've kind of been on like a salty snack kick recently, like adding to their salty snack domination or
Yeah.
domination. The Dots pretzels are also gone in my house. I am a fan of Dots and I really like the new flavor. I'm a fan of cheesy tasting things and garlic, so I'm definitely gonna be looking for that when it comes
Yeah.
to storage.
Your turn if you have more products to talk about.
Yep.
Have like
So we're talking about trends. So like I've been seeing a lot of nostalgia type trends. I unfortunately don't have any products to show for that, but like Gets, which in my head I always pronounce it like Goetsies or something weird,
yeah.
but it's
I
but it's
understand that.
Gets. They're known for their caramel creams, which I used to always buy at CVS on like the dollar candy shelf, but unfortunately no longer at CVS. So they've been coming out. They have cowtails, which are like they're caramel creams, but just longer, like rope type format. So
Mhm.
they came out with a honey bun flavor, which is more of like a
Yeah.
nostalgia, like nostalgia thing. But I've been seeing that a lot at the show. Like Nassau candy, apparently there's a bunch of candy brands that have been retired or about to be retired, like Six Lits and Runts, which I kind of grew up on in the
Yeah.
90s. So they have Poplets, which is their version, and they have Fruits with a Z, which is their version of Runts. So that was kind of interesting, I thought.
Yeah, I like a lot of nostalgia brands. Our friends at Spankler, one of the things that I do, because my dad, my late father, was a big fan of Necco wafers. One of the first things I do is pick up a roll. And I may or may not eat them, but it's candy has not just, nostalgic value. It's like real like core memories. And my dad just wolfing those down. They're an acquired taste. They're an acquired taste. I'm trying to think is it your turn? It's your turn, right?
I just had my turn,
You
but
just picked it.
I will
Yeah, go
show.
ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, coming on the heels of salty snacks, uh, Hershey continues to innovate with their skinny pop, cheddar jalapeno, which I'm a spice girl. I got more than one bag. And that I ate one, and it's uh, better for you popcorn, or popcorn that is skewed better for you doesn't always bring it with a flavor, and it's nice to see one that did. So I appreciate that. And yeah, so the trend of spicy stuff, it fits into there. 47 calories per cup. That's pretty rad if you're looking to watch your sorry, your cough is contagious over Zoom. If you're looking to like cut calories, increase fiber, things like that, popcorn is a thing to reach for, and Skinny Pop is in the BFY space specifically. And seeing something that is not only BFY but also on trend flavor wise, that is fun to watch. It'll be interesting to see how that picks up with consumers.
Yeah, I think that will do well. Spicy snacks have been around for a while now, but I do feel like they're kind of picking up popularity
Mhm.
this year. I have to say, I didn't see a ton of spicy candy. I know it's out there. The one booth of note for that was De La Rosa. I think they're a Mexican company. I
They
know they're
are.
international. They had a lot of really interesting spicy candy, so I picked up some samples for my fiance. I don't think he's tried them yet, but they had all sorts of I think one used tamarind, if that's how you say
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Things like that. So that's kind of interesting. Um The only samples I have, I can show you packaging. So I stopped by the Chocolate Love booth, grabbed some samples. I don't think they were showing much new stuff, but they have a milk chocolate marshmallow filled egg,
Oh,
which was
fun.
really good. I
Mhm.
already tried that one. And then there's a dark caramel, or sorry, dark chocolate salted caramel, things like that. And then our friends at Ferrara gave us a whole box, and this was in it, the Black Forest gummies, including one I already ate. It was like filled gummies. So that's also been a trend I've noticed. And I
Sure.
think in the snack space too, like filled things.
Yeah, they're filled treats. I don't think I picked up any over here, but that seems to be, I'm Gen X, and I think you're a young millennial, right?
I think I'm an old millennial. I was born in 1987, so
Okay.
I'm an
I
old
think
elder millennial.
I
They
always
call
think
it.
you're younger than you are. Is gushy gum was a thing. Good. Oh, Gushers, the fruit snacks.
I love Gushers.
Things
Yep.
gushed a lot in the mid to late 80s, the 90s.
Yep.
So it's interesting to see that. I associate it with, I mean, some of they're new to new generations. So I foresee some of these gushy things being picked up by nostalgia swayed Gen X parents and older millennial parents picking up for their kids who are um into gushy, weird, gross, occasionally. Not the candy isn't gross. They are marketed as gross occasionally. And kids are into that. Another thing that I have I picked up on, so strip waffles are increasingly popular to the point where they're in the impulse alley at Trader Joe's frequently. A company called the Dutch Waffle Company had a vegan version. This isn't it. I'll just hold it up anyway. But a strip waffle is it's like a waffle cone like material with caramel in the middle, and you can either just go num num num. Uh, why did I do that? Or one of the fun things that you can do is stick it on top of your cup of coffee and just wait a little minute, and then the caramel gets all gooey. Caramel you associate with, butter, goodness, but the fact that they had a vegan version I thought was interesting, and it fits in with the whole vegans are slowly getting, oh, I have another vegan thing, but I won't get ahead of myself. It's interesting seeing more and more options for vegans in the indulgent space. Because stroop waffles are pretty indulgent. I think I find them like fun
Yeah.
and indulgent, but
Stroopwafels are interesting because they've been around for a little bit, but I feel
oh
like they're
yeah.
gaining popularity. Like at one point, United Airlines was giving them out. I think the Dahlman's brand, they were giving those out, and they were saying what you were saying, like you can put it over your coffee and kind of warm it up. So I grabbed some of those. I didn't see the vegan one, but that's pretty cool.
They were done.
Dahlman's had they had their original one. They had chocolate, which I hadn't tried before, and they had a honey one, which was kind of
Oh
good.
yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's there's another company that makes a zero sugar added version that I cannot remember the name of it, but yeah, strip waffles are they've been around forever, increasing popularity in America, but this I thought the Dutch Waffle Company is based in America. I believe they import. The woman I talked to at the booth was Dutch. I don't want to destroy the package, but yeah, it's interesting seeing them come over to America and increase in popularity. Um, you,
Yeah.
your turn.
So I'm looking at my notes. It's funny because a lot of trends I saw were like poppable portable. So for example, Marge they're promoting their Skittles Littles, which are the small ones, and
Mhm.
also the M&M Minis. And I have to say the star of the show for me in terms of just like fun, not necessarily product wise, but just fun wise was, I don't know if you saw this, they had a Skittles machine and they had an M&M's machine, and it
Yeah,
was like a create your own mix. And I was like, they should put this in a grocery store and charge like a few bucks for a cup. They'd make so
yeah.
much money. Because like Skittles, you could choose either 3 flavors or five. And I think it said like you owe $1, but then it crossed out, it said you owe $0. So I'm like a huge M&M's girl. So I definitely went to the M&M's machine like 2 days in a row to get my fix because they had all sorts of flavors. They had like, peanut, regular, M&M's minis, but they also had like the crunchy cookie, the almond, and it
Mhm.
put it in like a little parfait cup for you. and you could
Yeah.
see it actually coming out. So I saw so many videos on Instagram about that after, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I had the pleasure of going to the recently, oh, it's a couple months now, the Mars Wrigley Innovation Center, and they had like a mini M&M's World gift shop there with the you can get all the M&Ms in all the different colors and you can mix them up. And I think a machine would be a good way to recreate or reduced version of that experience in a store just all the time, so I don't have to trek all the way to, well, the closest M&M's World I think is Vegas.
Vegas.
Howdy,
Yep.
right? um they're not everywhere, but yeah, because I like, well, you can find the M&Ms different colors in some like local candy chains and things like that. I believe It's Sugar has it, but yeah, just being able to go to my local grocery store and do that for Skittles or M&Ms would be super cool. Um,
Yeah, I thought that would be fun. And someone, I said someone asked, I think it was me. I think I asked.
I'm a wise person.
It's been a long month. I asked someone was reloading the M&M's machine. I said, "Do you have these like in grocery stores? Is this gonna be out?" And he's like, "No, like we don't have plans right now." But then another time, there was a buyer talking to someone about the Skittles machine, and they said, "Yeah, you can buy it for your store." So I'd be curious to know which is correct. Because if I saw that at like a local store, like a Meijer or Kroger, and it was like, a couple bucks to just like fill up a cup with different flavors of M&Ms, I would totally do that. Like especially on the way out or the way
yeah,
in.
I envision them at airports because
Yeah.
you've noticed probably flying in, I fly in and out of O'Hare. They've added to the sprinkles vending machine. There's machines that sell like electronics, like, oh, your headphones
Oh
broke.
yeah.
How will you deal with a 4 hour West Coast flight? You need your headphones. So that Nuts on Clark, which is a Chicago based
Yep.
mostly savory snacks, but also candy and stuff. That's kind of fun. But yeah, make it happen, Mars. You're watching. My next thing is um when I was a freelancer, between full-time editing jobs, I was still writing, including about the food industry. I worked at a bakery that was skewed organic, and they had a lot of vegan products. And Dandy's is a Chicago suburban, Addison, Illinois, company that made vegan marshmallows, and they were like pretty much the first people to do it. Kosher marshmallows are a thing. Dandy's has since grown and expanded, and one of the things that is not out yet, but they let me take a sample, is vegan marshmallow cream. Um,
Ooh.
so if you've gone vegan and you miss the fluffer nutter sandwiches from your childhood, this can let you duplicate it because it's got I sampled it, and it's crazy how they do this. Kind of the same consistency, the same flavor. So you can take this is again an acquired taste. Two pieces of bread, peanut butter on one side, marshmallow fluff on the other, and you smush it, and you have a nutritious yet
Mm.
sugar loaded sandwich. It's quite a bit of sugar, but it's a great indulgence that especially people my age and maybe your age might like to indulge in as a vegan.
I think that's a great idea. I didn't see that at the show too, so I'm intrigued. I used to do that as a kid, do like peanut. I was kind of weird. I never liked peanut butter and jelly together, but I loved peanut butter and like fluffernutter or some sort of like marmalade. It's always really good.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. So my turn. What else
Yeah,
do
I
I?
have three things left if that.
Okay. So another trend I saw a lot of seasonal things, which
Mhm.
not super surprising, but Haribo in particular, they had like a red, white, and blue collection for 4th of July, and that's coming up. I was sad to hear that their pineapple only flavor was a seasonal because I got
Oh,
that at one point
really?
and I posted a picture of it to my personal social media and people went insane for some reason. They were like, "Where did you get that? I need it now." I said, "I got it at Target." And they said, "Oh, okay, cool." So that apparently was a limited time deal. But seasonal, I definitely saw trending. And then I feel like a lot of people are having some fun with flavor trends. For example, I talked to Flips, the pretzel is more snack space, but I talked to
Yeah.
Flips, who is owned by, I'm gonna mispronounce this, it's like Platis or Platis.
I wanted to say Pladis just because I used to work with
Let's
French people, but
see.
sorry, people, the former Demet's company. Um, yeah, we'll look it up.
Yeah, so they own Demet's, like you just said, the turtle,
Yeah.
company, and they own Godiva. They just acquired Godiva, merged with Godiva. So they have a blueberry donut flavor coming out, which I thought it kind of reminded me of the Kit Kat flavor, the frosted chocolate donut. And it's gonna be a 7-Eleven exclusive, which I thought was kind of smart because people will see it there and hopefully grab it.
Yeah, they last year, I think it was last year, they had the State Fair inspired flips,
Yep.
say strawberry shortcake and churro. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, having fun with flavors that evoke a specific place or mood. Limited time is the time where limited time was basically just seasonal. They put Santa or they put like chocolate peppermint on something and then just bring it back every year. People are getting really creative and occasions outside of holidays. Reese's has, and I believe I spotted a TV commercial, metal shaped Reese's for the impending Olympics, which is pretty fun. Um, and movie tie-ins, fun movie tie-ins continue to happen. Uh, as somebody who's trying to cut down on sugar, I appreciate the efforts of brands like Smart Sweet to introduce a little bit more fun. These are pink, obviously Barbie pink, and they're pink lemonade dream, excuse me, pink lemonade dream flavored gummy candies, which they had a lot of fun with in their booth. They had a giant package of this, like the size of a king size pillow. Um, but yeah, sugar reduction continues to be something that people are interested in. And like Liz was saying, these aren't sugar free. There's no added sugar, but they still have. And there's also fiber, which my doctor is like, get more fiber in your diet. It's like, thank you, Barbie, for bringing more diet to your, or more fiber to my diet that way. So that candy in particular follows a couple of things. I don't know if you saw lots of fun branded stuff, but Barbie branded stuff. There were some smaller producers that had horror movie themed
Hmm.
branded stuff, like the scary clown from Terrifier. He has a name. I don't know what it is, but I cannot. That is definitely not for kids because I'm not even going to put a picture up here because then we might like have viewers fainting. But branded stuff outside of just like kids cartoon characters is an interesting thing to see. But I don't have any products in that. Liz, are you still you have products still?
I have
Yeah.
one I can show,
Okay.
but with your point of branded stuff,
Yeah.
Despicable Me 4, I think it is coming out. So
Uh,
we've been writing, I didn't see as much at the expo, but we've been writing a lot. Like I think Hippies has some packaging
oh
and
yeah.
someone else did too. I forget who, but that's coming out. So I've been keeping an eye on that. So this is kind of new, kind of not. So Werther's, when you think of Werther's, you might think of the caramel hard candy, which is good. It's tasty, but they've been kind of branching off since then. So these are like I think it's sea salt flavor, this one, caramel sea salt, and
Nice.
they're like chewy caramels basically. And for some reason they're like one of my favorite things. Like I love anything sea salt, and they also had different flavors. So I went into their booth, didn't have an appointment, but just was poking around, and they had like a little bar where you could like take what you wanted, which was kind of dangerous. So
Mhm.
they had like I took a green apple flavor, like a cappuccino flavor, all this size. And of course, I took some of the sea salt. And they're like, when you bite into them, they're kind of like chewy and they're just very delicious. So I've been enjoying those lately.
Yeah, where there's original, where there's Ekta, because they're a German company, owned by Stark, and the caramels are relatively new. However, they also own one of my favorite like candy impulse purchases is Stork chocolate Riesen. They're the chocolate covered caramels that I will send you a commercial because they're like super cheesy and nostalgic commercials for me. But yeah, they've been doing caramels. They've just decided to bring them across from the one brand to the other and soften them up a little bit. One of the things that I like about Stork, the chocolate reason, is they are firm and you can't eat more than a couple because your jaw gets tired. They're delicious. They're delicious, but there's a built-in like speed bump from eating the whole bag, I think. Second to last. So it's interesting to see that food service options are continuing to be broadened, and why shouldn't we have better for you or functional or things that evoke better health? Nature Valley has these individually wrapped protein smoothie bars. So they are actually it's a chewy granola bar with a little bit of a yogurt coating. So a little bit of added protein there. The protein content is 10 grams for a relatively small bar. So that's right up there with some of the bars that have been, you spot them more often in the functional food section of your average Target. And they also had a muffin bar. So taking a muffin and smushing it and making it rectangular, changing the occasion at which a muffin is enjoyed. It seemed pretty snacky and delicious. Are you out of products?
I could go. I have one more I can show.
I have one more. I get to
It's
finish.
nothing groundbreaking, but I
Yeah.
was so Hawaiian Host, didn't have an appointment with them either, but kind of walked by. I was amused because their booth was right next to the other macadamia company. I forget their
Oh, yeah,
name.
yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
it was like they had to like compete against each other, kind of like the two Starbucks you were saying. So this is Hawaiian Host milk chocolate Aloha Max. I think it's been out for a while, but it looked delicious, so I grabbed them. But I did, oh, Mauna Loa, that was the other one. So Mauna Loa had some interesting stuff. I don't have it on me, but I haven't eaten it yet. And it was like Mauna Loa, like garlic flavored macadamia, like sea salt and garlic. So I was like, that's kind of interesting on the savory side.
Yeah. Um, I recently went to the National Restaurant Association and macadamia milk was a thing that I saw at a couple of different booths, but snack nuts are not such a thing because I mean it's not like they don't have snacks and snack products at restaurants, but the show is geared toward food service and they had macadamia milk at some of the barista booths.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, macadamia nuts, they do tend to, when they're in snack form, they do tend to be sweet. So that savory skew um, is up. So you mentioned earlier, bloggers going crazy about snacks. And that's kind of like, it's a fun way for journalists to think, oh, is this going to be like hot? And when something leaks out and all the snack bloggers are hot about a thing, then you know that, oh, this has the potential to like really catch fire at retail. But to my credit, when I heard about this product at the Kellanova booth, I thought, oh, this is going to be fun. Pringles is, you associate Pringles with the, as a character in the Ghostbusters movie calls it salty parabolas. They are potato, kind of like shaped like a saddle, chip like things, potato based. And as I think the press release said, Pringles is coming out of the can with Pringles Mingles. So what these are, it's a puffed extruded snack in the shape of Mr. Pringle's bow tie on the label there. Corn base, yes, corn base, and they're going to be coated with a couple of different flavors. This happens to be sharp white cheddar and ranch. So people at the show were pretty excited, but even more than that, I think the day of or the day before that I met with Kellanova at Sweets and Snacks, my Google homepage on my phone was just nothing but like people talking about Pringles Mingles, which is also a fun name. So well done to the Kellanova team for coming up with a name that is just super fun to say. This is, I mean, salty snacks continue to be hot, puffed extruded. And this is a good example of a brand having a little bit of fun, kind of diversifying, but in a way that still ties to the original, the bow tie. Mr. Pringle is still very much, Mr. P is still very much on the front of the package. So that was one of my favorite things because I thought it was a neat little twist. Snack bloggers are sure excited about it. It's not out till October. So people watching, you're going to have to wait, or you're going to have to impose upon the Pringles marketing team to send you some, but I make no promises. Did you get a chance to try these?
No, I definitely noticed their booth because they had, it was funny you mentioned Pringles as like saddles because they had like Pringle chairs kind of, and
I
I had posted a photo of it. Sorry?
I tried to get them to sell it to me, but they would not because
Well,
I need an entryway
it's funny
here.
you say that because I posted a photo of it and a fellow coworker here actually was like, "Can you steal some of those and bring them back in your suitcase?" I was like, I don't think that's gonna work. But unfortunately, I didn't have a chance, and I saw the mascot too over there, but I didn't have a chance to stop by. But so I have not tried the Mingles. I'd like to at some point because I'm a Pringles fan. I am a fan of how thin they are though, so I'd be curious to see how they work in a puffed snack.
Yeah, it's I at first thought when I saw the news that I assumed because Pringles is known for their potato base that it would be potato, but it's corn and it works really well. What do I like best about puffy stuff? I like the way they kind of melt in your mouth. And I believe that happens more satisfyingly with corn than potato. Um Corn, who doesn't love a good corn curl or a cheese puff? Um, but yeah, uh, that was one of the truly new things that I saw. It's new for Pringles. So yay, well done, Pringles. Um, Overall, I thought there was a lot of new stuff to see. In terms of like hot and burning trends, there weren't any things new. It was like I'm summing up now. Sustained or continuation or increase of existing trends. Is that what you saw too?
Yeah, for the most part, like I was saying, like Better for You definitely was showing. One I didn't mention was I always mispronounce her name, but Choxo, CHOCXO, or
Mhm.
Choc XO.
Oh yeah, they were doing
Um,
that fun walkthrough and tasting thing.
yeah, so they had another lower sugar thing out and it was a lemon flavored chocolate, but it wasn't white chocolate. It was dark chocolate, I believe. So that's kind of
Thing.
interesting. It was like dark chocolate with a lemon middle and they gave me some of those to try. So like Better for You was definitely on display. One thing I didn't talk about was brand partnerships. So like Frankfurt Candy, they have a lot of licenses. So they had some Baskin Robin chocolates that looked pretty good. They were like chocolates filled with flavors mimicking Baskin Robin ice cream flavors. So like mint chocolate chip, things like that. And they also had a SpongeBob. They had this thing called the Krabby Patties Challenge, where they gave you like little gummy patties and you could stack them the way you wanted. I haven't taken the challenge yet, but I got a pin that said I've taken it, which
Oh,
was fun since I
cool.
collect pins. But yeah, so like I would agree with you. I would say like I didn't see any trends that I was not aware of, but I did see a continuation of trends we've been seeing in the space.
Yeah, it was fun connecting with, oh, you didn't get a chance to sit in on the 5x5s. Uh,
No.
for people listening not aware of, the NCAA has done this really interesting thing where they take five new startup candy companies one day, snack companies the next. Each of the people gets 5 minutes to present on their new product to buyers from places like Harris Teeter, which is a regional chain. And it's really insightful. There were a couple of new companies in the chocolate space, the better for you candy space, the gum space. I got to see the candy side of things like that. And yeah, the new people came up with some things that I thought were interesting. Better for you gum, lower sugar gum. Rotten is a company you're familiar with. They were one of the presenters. So new-ish. Um, the gross out factor of this gummy brand is really fun because it reminds me of some of the brands and Garbage Pail Kids and Wacky Packs and things like that that used to be like skewed gross, but the gross marketing thing hides the fact that these are lower than sugar and better for you gummies. So yeah, the trends that I saw there were, yeah, some of the same stuff you're seeing on the bigger side of the floor. They're just the same trends, but people doing fun things with them and having fun with flavors. So not new, but definitely innovative in a way, and makes these companies worth watching. And it makes it worth continuing to go to Sweets and Snacks to see the trends and the interesting new companies, and not just fill your entire car full of candy samples to come back home to. Although I did a little bit of that too. Yeah, I think I'm out of things to say. We've gone on quite a bit. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, I was gonna say if anyone watching this saw something we didn't see at Sweets and
Yeah.
Snacks, they could email us. My email is parkere@bnpmedia.com.
Yeah, and I gave you my email address again. So yeah, holler at Liz. But thank you to NCA for putting on another really great show. Thank you to all the candy companies and producers that spent time up answering our questions. Apologies to the companies that I met up with but haven't followed up with yet. There's a few, you know who you are. And if you're anxious to talk to me, feel free to email me again. Maybe my bird ate your business card. But yeah, always great to hear. And if you weren't at the show, please email one of us and tell us, hey, I'm a producer. I'd love to talk about my stuff. That's always nice. But until then, until next year, please keep an eye on our regular monthly new product highlights and read all the articles because they're great at snackandbakery.com. Thank you for your time. We'll talk to you soon.